One of the things I've been seeing, not even this season, but the last couple of seasons, has been a lot of times someone will see some sort of brown spot start in their yard. They'll notice that some fungus is starting. And for homeowners, there's not a lot of good options at the store for things to grab. So most likely you go to the store, you see Disease X, you grab that bag and you put it on your yard. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, depending on what's going on. And then you have to wonder, was it the right thing? Is it a product that works or doesn't work? So today I want to talk about where it's appropriate, where it's probably not appropriate, and a little bit more about fungicides. So as I said, one of the most frustrating parts of lawn care for homeowners, I think, is that there's not a lot of information about fungus. Depending on what's going on, it can be very difficult to diagnose and figure out what sort of products that you can use, where to find them, how to spray them down. Lots of things that are involved with it, which is why I don't actually talk about it a lot either, because it can get very complicated for a lot of beginners and then they just get confused and it's hard to come across in video with all that info. But today I have some brown patch starting in this yard that I want to show you. I want to talk about why Disease X actually might work okay in that scenario and where it would be better to choose a different product for some different things. So right here you can kind of see a couple issues that I was having, and I'll post a picture that I took a few days ago before I made any applications or anything to show you what it looked like when I came out here in the morning. I was seeing some little white, like cotton-like stuff around the edge, a smoky black type of edge, and that's a telltale sign that I had some brown patch going on. So in many cases I think Disease X is a fine product to use as a preventative for something like this. In the past I have used that product as a preventative, and you can put that down pretty easy as a granular for most people who are comfortable with that. But in this case, let's say something like Pythium was hitting this, this is ryegrass, so it's very typical that you could have a Pythium issue on that. So the question then becomes how to properly diagnose that, how to figure out exactly what it is. And sometimes that can be very difficult to figure out exactly what is going on. So in my case, I was able to look at some examples of brown patch, and then I actually found this information here from some university studies about which products would be best for brown patch. And then I found that azoxystrobin, which is the active ingredient in Disease X, is one of the best for controlling brown patch. So in this case, it would be a good thing to use. But if that were Pythium and I had a major outbreak and I put this down and I just kept using it and I couldn't figure out exactly why it wasn't working well, a product with the ingredient mefenoxam is going to be better for Pythium control. Talking about another common fungus in dollar spot, actually azoxystrobin has been shown in studies to exacerbate that issue from time to time. So in that case, putting down Disease X on that would not have been a good idea. In dollar spot's case, something like propiconazole would work well for that, and there's plenty of info online too about what are the best products if you had a dollar spot issue. So being able to fully diagnose what you have is very, very important. If you have to reach out to an extension office in your area, or maybe you have a long-standing, well-respected lawn company in your area that could come over and take a look at your specific scenario, it's going to be a lot better that you know for sure what's going on and get the right product to use than to just go ahead and apply something that you're not sure is going to work. One other very important thing with fungicides is remember that you just don't want to use the same ones over and over and over again. There are classes of these, and what happens is the more you use a specific product, the more that the issue that you're actually trying to take care of can become resistant to that. So you want to be switching up these things and not using the exact same thing over and over again, which is again why I say it's not the best case scenario that there's not a lot of products in the store except for Disease X and a couple others maybe, that people grab these constantly, put them down over and over again, and you can end up causing some resistance issues by using the same product and not switching to anything else over time. So as I said, this is probably one of the more complicated things in DIY lawn care. But the next time that you have a fungus issue, before you just go to the store and grab whatever's there, just maybe do a little digging to see if you can figure out exactly what's going on, making sure you have the right product, and going forward coming up with a plan of rotating some things in to make sure you're not also using the exact same thing every time. There are a lot of university resources out there, so do a little digging, and I hope that helped you to at least touch the surface today, get you thinking about fungicides. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.